Well, you hear about like people like The Rock who are like, or like Chris Pratt, where they have this like origin story of them just being like dirt poor, living out of their car in LA, or like, you know, they usually a story about somebody moving to LA for show business,
right,
or New York or something. But like, just think, even us doing comedy, we know so many like striving, ambitious people. Have you met anybody who you think is this ambitious, like that they're going to be The Rock? Or somebody who just has that hunger in their eye? I can only think of like one or two guys in my life.
I probably have one or two, yeah, but I don't even know if they got that rock hunger though.
But just that thing where it's like we're all just kind of here at the open mic screwing around and, you know, getting drunk and making jokes. But then you see this one guy who's got that like burning fire in their eye.
Yeah, I can't really.
It's kind
think
of uncomfortable when you're around that kind of energy, because it's like you see somebody and it's like in their head. They got like, you can hear the Rocky music playing in their head.
Most of the time I see that, but it goes away when reality sets in.
Yeah.
You know, they hit 30. They still ain't getting paid for comedy.
Well, it's like that kind of energy. You can't sustain it past a certain point. You gotta become successful eventually.
And you can't be that guy that's walking in that's cool for 15 minutes and you leave. That's what a lot of people do. They come in 15 minutes, they turn everything up. Yo, what's up? They shake everybody's hand. The bartender never met them before.
Yeah.
And then they're out. You know, it's like after 6 months.
Well, it's like at a certain point, people are going to see through it.
Yeah.
And it's like you can only kind of keep that kind of character going for a little while.
It's crazy those people will never write jokes. They'll do all this work, shake hands, go everywhere.
I mean, I've seen a few, though, just in my life, just since I've been doing comedy. But, like, you see a few guys. We've known a few people that actually got to the next level of success.
But they wrote jokes.
Yeah. I mean, they did write. Here's the thing. Is not only did they write jokes, they wrote, like, 10 screenplays.
Right.
And wrote jokes. And you can't even imagine them sleeping.
Right.
Where it's like you can see the level of, like, ambition. And it's like I've never seen somebody try that hard and be that disciplined and not make it.
Right, and that's the secret.
And the thing is, I mean, that's the secret, but it's not like it's something that me and you could do.
I mean, we're doing it right now.
But we're not that. I mean, we're not The Rock.
No, we're not The Rock.
But you see some guys who are like The Rock.
Yeah.
Where it's like...
But you don't need to be now.
No, but it does help. And it's something that you can't fake. That's my whole point, is that there's some guys who just like have that kind of ambition and like drive. Drive is the whole point.
Right.
Where it's like... They can't take breaks. They don't do anything else, and it's just like laser focus.
I think
and
also...
it's just like that. That really does. I mean, it does work.
You start to get some stuff, and it motivates you more. That's what I think.
There's some guys who are like The Rock, who it's like they saw it all from the very beginning.
Oh yeah.
They were just like, no, I'm already famous. They just don't know it yet, and they have that like kind of delusion to them.
See, I was one of these guys that in my mind, I really just thought it would happen. I wish I could go back in time, and that was so dumb when you think about it.
Yeah.
Like, I just thought it's just gonna happen. Like, when's my door gonna open up? And then
right.
I didn't realize I wasn't doing anything to open up that damn door.
Exactly.
I mean, I was doing stand-up.
Think about The Rock, though. I mean, like, we're talking about all this stuff, like this ambition stuff. He was doing this when he was like 19.
And look how much he had to work out. Dude, not only that, he worked out like crazy, too.
Yeah.
Reminds me of that Arnold documentary you told me about. I finally watched it.
Oh, yeah.
You can't make excuses to these guys.
What's wild about The Rock, I always say this, The Rock was a pro wrestler, the biggest pro wrestler in the world for like 10 years. Then he started doing movies, and he got even physically bigger after pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Think about that. He's like twice the muscle mass now. That when he was wrestling, you watch the old videos, he looks like a different person.
And people used to tell him, hey, man, you're too big, you're too jacked to be an actor.
Yeah,
That's his whole thing.
Well, now he's just like, he's gotten even more jacked throughout the years.
And he took wrestling to the next level with acting. Remember, he had his eyes.
Yeah.
He didn't break character. I would bust out laughing trying to do some of this wrestling stuff.
Ah, yeah.
Google bad wrestling one day.
Yeah.
Bad wrestling moves.
Yeah. Well, just being able, having to do that kind of a physical act and stay in character the whole time.
And stay fit.
Yeah.
Most of those wrestlers get fat. I mean, they're drinking beer. They're on the road eating pizza.
Well, those guys, they do like, it's such a physical act that they have to do, and they tour like 6 days a week.
Yeah.
So it's just every single night you're going through all this like, yeah.
I wonder what his triumph story was. Have you ever seen, like, the wrestlers that never really clicks, like Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Yeah.
He was around for a while before he
Mhm.
was Stone Cold, and then he shaved his head, and that wasn't working. Then he grew the goatee, and it still wasn't. And then
Yep.
the 316.
Well, The
Stone
Rock
Cold.
was like he tried to come out as being like a good guy.
Oh.
He was like a real clean cut Rocky Maivia. He was supposed to be like the all American guy, but it was at the late '90s, and so it was part of an era where people were like, "We don't want that anymore.
right.
We're not into like clean cut like the good guys anymore."
Hulk Hogan, all my Hulkamaniacs.
Yeah, so like when The Rock first came out, everybody was booing him because people like the fans actively hated him just because
Yeah.
he was trying to be this squeaky clean guy. And then eventually he like I think the WWF at the time they figured out where it's like, no, you actually got to like play into that.
Yeah.
And you got to become an asshole and just like start making fun of people.
Who was your favorite
And that was-
wrestler?
When I was a little kid, Hulk Hogan or something. But
Oh, it was Hogan?
yeah. Oh, I mean that was when I was like a little kid.
Good Hogan or bad Hogan?
That was when it was good Hogan or like Macho Man back in those
Oh,
days.
yeah, I remember Macho Man.
Yeah, the Ultimate Warrior, and it was like, but like, no, I mean, I was really into wrestling right at like peak Rock, Stone Cold.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, I mean that was us. We were like what 12?
I got out way before that.
Oh yeah,
I missed out on a whole
you were
era.
into boxing. And
Yeah, well, I actually
you
had
were dealing cars at 12 years old.
Yeah, I was. I had to
You
quit
had
watching
moved to me.
wrestling. They banned wrestling in my house because I was watching it all the time. My favorite wrestler, I would watch the old school stuff about Andre the Giant and Hogan. Like I wasn't even born yet. But
wow.
I would look up the Andre the Giant stuff.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't look it up. We didn't have a computer, but I remember they would play it still. They,
Yeah.
they would have the reruns a lot. And I remember like
Well, it was like when Hogan picks him up.
and slams them, but they had the old school Andre the Giant. I was a huge Andre the Giant fan.
Why did it get banned in your house?
I fought my brother. Like they blamed it on wrestling. It's like no, he was just irritating me.
Why
You
did
know,
you hit him with
I
a
didn't-
chair or
no,
something?
I didn't
or-
even do it. That would make more sense. I punched through a glass window.
Wow.
I'm like, I think that we should ban these movies Dad's watching late at night on HBO because that's what made me punch through the glass.
Yeah, pretty natural aggression.
Yeah, so I punched through the glass. I cut my finger. It was a little drop of cut. My dad was so mad, dude.
Wow.
I guess because I could have been really hurt. I used to do all kinds of dumb stuff, confuse my parents. I stuck my head in a chair once. My dad's like, well, if you got it in, can't you get it out? My uncle had to come saw it out.
Wow.
I couldn't get it out, dude. Because one
Your
thing
ears don't bend the other way.
is that what it is?
Yeah, that's how people get their head stuck and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, because your ears bend backwards. They don't bend,
Yeah, I remember I kept trying, dude, and I heard the wood creaking,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt the pressure, and I finally got it through, and then I just freaked.
When I was a little kid, I got my hand stuck in a vending machine at a
Wow.
hotel in Florida. And it's like, you stick your hand in, it only slides in a certain way. It doesn't-
Yeah.
You can't twist it out. So, like, I think my grandmother had to, like, get some soap and water and, like, soap my arm up and, like, yank me
Wow.
back.
Did you get in trouble for that one?
I think it was such an ordeal that by the end, everybody was just, like, thankful that I was out of the vending machine.
Yeah.
It's
My
like-
brother stuffed a penny up his nose once.
Wow.
I don't even know how he did to this day.
Did they get it out?
Yeah.
You had to just, like, sneeze it out? Or
No, I had to go to the doctors.
wow.
We went to a family doctor for everything.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. Yeah, dude, wrestling. My friends would still wrestle, and they did all that stuff, but I was out of it early. I started getting into other stuff. I found a pattern. Like then I started liking. Which one was Juggernaut? Was that X-Men? DC?
Yeah. Mm.
My thing was I always liked the big guy since I was a kid. I loved Juggernaut. He was big. He'd just come in, smash stuff
Yeah.
open.
Well, it's like when you're a kid and it's like you're trying to decide who would win in a fight. It's
Yeah.
Like, this guy's big.
And remember
What are you
the
talking about?
Ant-Man?
Yeah.
Ant-Man was big.
Yeah.
Johnny Bravo, remember?
Yeah.
People
You
say
just-
I look like Johnny
You
Bravo.
just looked up to the big guy.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
always my thing.
Some kids are into the magic.
Yeah, what
It's
were
like-
you into? I feel like you'd like the
I like
a-
the smart guy, yeah.
yeah, like
Donatello kind of guy.
or the dude with the I liked Michelangelo.
Yeah. You're a party dude.
Who's the dude that could do stuff with his eyes? I feel like
Cyclops or something.
you'd be into him maybe.
Yeah. The guy is crafty.
Yeah.
He tricks you out. Yeah.
See, what sucked with me in comic books, why I never got into those things, anytime learning was involved, I'm checking out. Like, X-Men, you almost need to learn what the characters do.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not, I'm not
Well,
watching.
that's why you
this.
like Juggernaut, because you can just look at him.
Yep.
So, yeah, this guy's big.
He smashes through a wall. Who was that one dude? Fantastic Four. He was big rocks.
Yeah, the Thing.
Oh, the Thing. That was my guy.
Yeah.
The Incredible Hulk, or the Ultimate Hulk, the green dude.
Mm-hmm.
Loved him.
Gigantic man.
I remember, dude, I used to just punch cars. I'd watch the Hawk. I bent all the damn spoons in our house. We didn't have no spoons. And I'd just go out. We'd be at the grocery store. I'd just punch people's cars. And,
the thing is, though, you were like a little guy, though, right?
Yeah.
You had to be, what, 5'3"?
You could still punch a car.
But I mean, like,
no, I was way smaller than that.
Oh, yeah, but you weren't like a big kid for your age, right?
I was always the smallest kid around.
But you still identify with the gigantic man.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
I think the smaller people do.
Yeah. No, usually that small guy identifies with, like, the hero of the story.
Oh,
but
yeah.
you were identifying with bad guys, if you think about
Goliath.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Butterbean.
Oh, dude, I loved Butterbean. I forgot all about Butterbean.
Those were the days, man.
Yep.
Back when you could just be a big fat guy.
Yeah, I used to always have this dream that I'd gain all this muscle and weigh like 250 pounds and become heavyweight champ of the world.
Butterbean was more than 250, though, right? That had to be 300 plus.
Probably, but I think 250 was a good weight for a heavyweight.
Yeah.
Like heavyweight boxer. I mean, those guys were like 220, actually. Tyson was about 218.
Yeah. They don't make them like that no more.
No, they don't.
Just big, like, cartoonish fat guys like that.
Right, Klitschko or whatever.
Yeah.
These guys with long arms.
Yeah.
Just get up after the knockout. Yeah, I never really respected the little people in life.
That's weird, because you didn't identify with people who were actually your size.
In my mind.
Even back then, you were like a Pacquiao looking kid,
I was real tiny.
Yeah.
I was the skinniest kid in class. I remember they said, "Yep, you're the lightest kid." I forgot what grade it was. I was like 61 pounds. The teacher kept having me get on the scale.
Wow.
They thought something was wrong. They're like, "Are you holding what?" She's like, "Hold on, hop off there." She picked up the scale.
Wow.
All the kids were like 110 pounds. I was half their weight.
The kids like picking you up and throwing you around.
Yeah, I got tossed around a little bit. I punched a kid with all my might. Once he laughed at me.
Ah, wow.
Yep, my dad was like, "Just punch him," and I punched him. Nothing happened.
Wow.
I didn't have that heart.
Just the feeling, though, of being picked up and thrown around.
It
feels horrible.
Your friends picking you up. I got a friend.
Well, everybody thinks it's so funny.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this is humiliating.
Yeah, I got a friend that's a bodybuilder. His whole thing is, I don't know if he's purposely doing it. He's got some built-up aggression or something. But he likes to squeeze people as hard as he could when he hugs them. I mean, dude, he'll fracture your rib. You won't be able to take a deep breath for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
He just picks you up and bear hugs you.
Yeah, you're there with your girl.
Oh, I hate that.
She's just watching you get, just ragdolled.
Bro, I had that happen. My last girlfriend, she was friends with this bartender. Turns out she dated him for like a year. I had no clue.
Yeah.
Dude, he just would show up and pick me up always and run away with me. "I'm going to steal your boyfriend."
That's
and
so
he'd
funny.
pick me up. And I'd be like, "Dude, put me down."
Puts you on a shelf.
I'd be so mad. She'd be like, "Leave him alone."
Your legs are dangling and shit.
Yep.
Yeah. Not a good look for guys.
I never tied my shoes. I lost my shoes. She's cracking up.
Wow. As a man, you never want both of your feet to be off the ground at the same time.
Yeah, you don't feel
It's never a good look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're throwing like a Bruce Lee death kick.
Even then, though, you still want to have something planted. You don't want
Yeah.
to just be up in the air like that. It doesn't feel right. It feels very vulnerable.
Yeah, dude, I got into karate actually because kids used to bully me. I got bullied hard. Actually, dude, I know I talk about this a lot. Bullied by a kid way shorter than me. True story. Bullied the hell out of me.
How short are you then?
And I was little.
Yeah.
Bro, that's the
You're getting
thing.
bullied by a 5-year-old.
Yep. I seen him recently. He never grew from the 3rd grade.
Wow.
Yep. He's got little short kids now. He went through a divorce.
Huh.
Kids are 18 now, too. They're all short.
Wow.
Yep. He started off young. He had this kids when he was about 14. I guess the girl thought he'd have a growth spurt or something. But, dude, he's about 4 foot tall. He used to bully the hell out of me.
What did he do?
I remember 2nd, 3rd grade, I think it was. 3rd grade, maybe. He first started with just the words and seeing he broke my spirit. And then, he was one of these kids that had a story. He told everybody, I guess he missed some school because he stabbed a cop or something.
Wow.
That was the story in like JUVC or something. He like stabbed a cop with something. And either way, I don't know how true this all was, but everybody believed it. And I actually got my karma with this story. It's crazy, man. It's actually the kid bullied me, right? So my mom was sick. I couldn't even fight him anyway. My mom had cancer. Like, they were like, oh, she doesn't have long to live. And I remember my father's like, hey, don't get in trouble at school, like, because I was getting in trouble a little. So I just let these kids bully me, 2 kids, because I didn't want to bring any problems back home. You know, I didn't want to get suspended. So they'd hit me. One would hold me down. The other kick me in the head, like, all through recess. And I just dealt with it, right?
How old were you?
3rd grade or whatever.
Okay. Wow.
4th grade. Oh, no. You know what it was? 5th and 6th grade, because I went to a new school.
Okay.
So I actually grew up in the hood and went to school in the hood, like, where there'd be fights all the time.
Right.
And, you know, I was able to hold my own a little bit, and I would choke people out. That was my move. But anyways, I wasn't trying to get in trouble, so these kids bullied me for a couple of years.
Wow.
And then I go to a different school. My mom passes away. I start boxing, working out like crazy. Got real good at boxing. I'm knocking everybody out in these KO tournaments for drugs. It's in the newspaper.
Oh, wow.
I break this sit-up record.
Yeah.
And then this kid gets kicked out of the nice school that I used to go to. This is a nice school with rich kids. He had to come to my school in the hood.
Wow.
Dude, as I'm holding the belt, right?
Yeah.
Championship belt, just knocked out 4 people. I mean, they were talking about in the announcements. They're like, Dominic Leonelli made Wilson proud, knocked a kid out of the ring in his last fight, taking the championship belt. Dominic Leonelli broke the sit-up record in Youngstown, and I'm on the announcements. And, you know, dude, I was like tough, man. People would hold up their hands, and I'd hit their hands in the hallway and stuff. And this kid's there. I look over, right on the announcements, just broke the set record, got the belt, hitting this dude's hands. I look over. Who do I see? That kid that used to bully me.
Wow.
He never came back to his school again. I heard through the grapevine the kid was terrified.
Wow.
And then the other kid that used to bully me, I started dating his cousin, but I seen him at a gas station once. And he's like this. He goes, bro, I know you're a pro boxer. I turned pro at this time.
Wow.
And I was in the paper a lot. He comes up to me like this. Bro, I'm so sorry, man. Please don't beat my ass.
Wow.
He's like, I'm here with my girl.
Yeah.
You're dating my cousin now. And I was cool with it. I was like, yeah, man. I said I didn't beat you up because my mother was dying.
Wow.
I was like, you guys were some punks, man. And I just let it go at that. But I got my karma with both of them.
Right, yeah.
But still, to this day, sometimes I think about the little short one. I'd hit him one time somewhere if I seen him out.
Well, the thing is, too, I mean, with being with bullies and, like, you know, fighting and everything, if a kid was just really big, he could still beat you up.
Well, it was
even
always
if you were good at boxing.
The real big kids would be the ones that would get bullied. Did you ever notice?
Yeah. Well, real big kids don't have the confidence because they're still kind of like weird.
But no, dude, I knocked out a lot. Dude, I've knocked out people. Boxing's a different beast. It just takes a little bit of pressure. It's the punch you don't see.
Yeah.
I knocked out people. I had to jump up to hit them.
Right.
6'4", 300 pounds.
But I feel like with fighting, though, there's a chance that you could always just get caught.
You could get caught, but
and you get, you know, if the guy starts hugging you, and it's like,
oh yeah, I mean, if they charge you, but truthfully, you jump on anybody's
back.
back.
It's like these days, kids got guns and shit. So
right.
Like,
but it's not always the big dude. People think that. I mean, I know I sound like a small dude, but somebody charges you, you jump on their back and choke them out.
Yeah.
They're going down.
Yeah.
You know, or same thing with you hit somebody directly in the jaw without saying nothing. Most people, where they mess up with the fight with big dudes, is they let the big dude know that they're about to fight.
Too much talking.
You don't even do that. Some big dude says something, and you just be just like this. Dude, I don't want no problem. Smack right to the chin.
Yeah.
Boom, down.
Yeah. That's why people are saying about, like, Tyson Fury is going to fight Francis Ngannou, the former UFC heavyweight.
Oh, yeah.
But an African dude is going to fight big, dumb British guy.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, there's no way he's going to knock him out. You know, Deontay Wilder couldn't knock him out. But it's like, he catches him with a punch. The guy, I mean, this isn't a Superman.
Yeah.
If you get caught hard enough, it's like your body just gives out on you.
If you get hit in the jaw, dude, I've been knocked out. I was knocked out by a kid never boxed a day in his life.
Yeah.
Skinny kid. He was a pitcher for baseball. I go in the ring just taking it easy with him. Smack. Next thing I know, I was still standing.
Wow.
And everybody's like, come on, man. Take off your gloves.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, we're sparring. I didn't even know I got knocked out standing up.
Wow.
It's those quick punches that'll knock you out.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I was knocked out twice in my life, but never out cold on the ground. Like, that would be scary.
Yeah.
I would hate to get knocked out in front of my girl or something like that. That's where it's like, you know, dude, it's over.
Well, people like in movies, it looks so much lighter.
Yeah.
It's like they're just kind of slapping you like, hey, wake up.
Yeah.
Like in real life, it's like, no, you might have a concussion. You might be like internal bleeding or something.
You ever see where they take the gun and hit the dude on the back of the neck?
Yeah.
I wonder if that works.
I think it does work in the sense that like you do knock him out, but he might just be dead.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, he's going to wake up in the van and say, okay, I'll give you the information.
Dude, imagine back before we knew about stuff.
Yeah.
People seen that in the movies and they just did it for fun.
Yeah.
People do dumb stuff, man. I had this friend, he got real drunk and nobody even asked him to do this. Nobody bet him. He just started telling people he could jump from one pickup truck to the other. And nobody was even really watching, and he did it and knocked himself out bad.
Wow.
I think he's messed up for life from it.
Jeez.
Smacked his head right on the back of a pickup truck.
Yeah.
You know, people used to just, you just got to prove something.
Well, you think about like how many times in your life you got hurt, and it's like you don't realize until you look back now as an adult, like that could have been it for me.
Oh, bro.
That could have been paralysis right there.
How many times do you think you hit your head dangerously?
I mean, when I was doing judo and stuff.
Oh, I didn't know you did that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, for like 8 years of my life, you're constantly just getting slammed. I mean, you get better at falling.
Full of secrets.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like, judo isn't like, it's wrestling, basically.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of throws. So you're just constantly just getting, you're falling at a weird angle.
Wow.
And I know that feeling of like, it's not when your head hits the ground, it's when it like bounces.
Yeah.
When you get that double bounce in
it's
your
all
back.
about that bounce back.
Yeah. And it's like everything goes blurry and black for a second. And it's like, yeah, who knows what, but for me, it was always doing wrestling moves.
Yeah.
When I was like 10 years old, me and my friends just doing little power bomb thing on the couch.
Oh, yeah.
Only got to have one thing gets turned a little bit, one angle to the right, and it's like, no, you're just never moving your neck ever again.
Yep, snapped your neck.
And it's like, then you got to spend the rest of your life explaining what happened. It's like, oh, my friend did a funny wrestling move when I was 8 years old.
Happened with my neighbor, that power drive where you hold him like this, broke his brother's neck. His brother's fine. But they're like, yeah, you're grounded now. And it's like, yeah, your brother's neck's broke.
Yeah, this kid's not, his whole life is fucked up for a while.
Yeah, now he's got to own a pizza shop.
Yeah. And then you got to go through the rest of your life like that?
I forgot. That's crazy you did judo like that, man. I hit my head a lot, dude. I mean, I know it's not surprising. See, I hit my head so much because the upbringing that we had was, first off, I remember I had friends that they'd be like, oh, I'm grounded, Mom. And they'd take their head and smack it into the wall as hard as they could.
Right,
we didn't know about head trauma. Yeah. And, we had this gas meter at our house, and we would put our shoes under it, and that's just where we had to put our shoes. It was my mother's rule. So, you're a kid, you're always in a hurry. Come on, beep, 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 we got to go to the store. And you're putting on your shoes, smack on the gas meter. Boom, right on the gas meter. Hard. And for years, our whole life, we never think about boxing that gas meter in. We never thought about moving our shoes over here.
Yeah.
10 years. Dude, I'm talking my father. The only person that didn't put their shoes under there was my mother.
Yeah.
Never hit her head. But my dad, my brother, my friends, we'd be like, come on, man, you know where you got to put your shoes.
Wow.
See, they were smart enough to stay low. But not me, dude. I remember I split my head multiple times. Smack.
You ever hit your head so hard you start like tasting stuff?
No, that's
happened to me a few times. Where it's like, what the fuck? I'm tasting pineapple or something. It's like some sort of wires just got crossed in there.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You know what happens with me, and I should probably look into this. When I turn my head real fast, I asked the doctor, but when I turn my head real fast and move real quick, I see little spots everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Yeah, so I thought that was something was wrong with me for that.
Well, it's like the blood in your head is like trying to catch up. And like, you got this
see, the doctor didn't even know that. I go to a doctor, he told me, he goes, well, why are you moving your head fast?
Right.
And it's like, dude, don't ask me. Like, come on.
Are you a smart ass?
Yeah.
I didn't come here for this.
Yeah, dude. What do you mean?
What kind of doctor are you?
Because I want to.
Yeah.
I remember we were in a car accident. I said, yeah, when I turn my head like this, I hear a little rattle. And the doctors never believed me.
Wow.
I mean, it went away, but I still don't know what that was.
Yeah. I get so worried though. I mean, like that's one of the things. I mean, I'm probably never gonna have kids at this point, but if you do, everything feels so much more dangerous these days.
Yeah.
In terms of like, because now it's not even like the world is more dangerous, but we're just more aware of how things actually work.
Yeah.
So just imagine having a kid and he hits his head on anything.
Yeah.
Now knowing all this, like, you know, the Will Smith movie, that's all it's playing in my head now. Is like,
what Will Smith movie?
The concussion, or he was playing the African doctor.
Oh, I never seen
about
it.
Football players. But it's like now we know how concussions work. So it's like anytime your kid hits his head, it's like, oh, well, I got to make a new kid now. It's like, this kid's fucked up.
Yeah, dude, I used to box and my trainer would want me to get in with heavyweights. He'd be like, don't move out the way. Take that punch.
Well, you got to get used to taking punches, right?
Yeah, but dude, it's like I took punches for years.
Yeah.
And you would just see black and you could feel, it's like that was no good, man. You think that's going to catch up with me in time?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's like we can't do an A/B test, so we don't know what it would have been like, you know.
Yeah.
You might have been going to college if you were
I doubt
getting
that.
rattled around like that.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. You don't think you're going to have kids? Come on, you got to get a girl pregnant. Get that African wife you always wanted.
Hey, man, we got to get this Patreon moving.
Yeah, you don't need money.
20 grand, I'll have a kid right now.
Everybody with kids will tell you have kids, they don't cost money, you make money. Okay.
Tax write-off.
Yeah.
Don't you know how this works?
You get tax write-off, dude.
You just buy some fruit snacks, you put them on the train.
Best advice I seen was my neighbor. She retired early. And what she did was she actually adopted kids. She didn't have any of her own. She adopted them, and you get money, and then she got them all paper routes. And, dude, you get so much. She had put student loans on a couple of them. They don't talk to her no more. But, you know.
Wow.
You make some money. She bought their books. She's like, I'm putting you through college. And she kept all that student loan money in their name, too, man.
Wow.
Got them good.
Well, I don't know if I'd be comfortable stealing from my own kids like that.
Well, I mean, you could draw the line somewhere. Make them work a paper route at least.
Yeah, at least a couple credit cards.
Then you say you put food on the table, put the cable in their name, run that up a little bit.
Wow.
Water bill.
Well, I was reading the newspaper the other day. Like the average like childcare in New York City, it's like $2,500 a month.
Wow, where's that money even going?
Exactly.
To fades?
Who knows? But it's like, imagine being like having a kid and you got to pay that much. 2 kids, you're paying $5,000 a month.
Oh, they're not paying that. These kids are going under the turnstile.
No, but I think they are. That's why people these days aren't having kids as much anymore. Everything costs too much money.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We got to start amping it up, dude, because people are still having kids. You haven't been to the Bronx lately.
Right.
I could tell. You got to amp it up, dude. We need to make more children. I think we need to go back to the big families, 8 kids.
Well, I think what's better, at least with the big family, is like, all right, you have a couple bad kids. You make some more kids.
Maybe 1 or 2 gets on drugs, steals from the pharmacy.
You only need 1 good one that plays in the NBA.
3 or 4 good ones. Not even NBA, dude. You get 1 that's a good door-to-door salesman.
Yeah.
They'll take care of you. $80,000 in Ohio, that's good money.
Yeah. Well, I guess if at this point, if either of us had kids, you got to go to Ohio at this point.
Oh, dude, I'm not
raising. Do it
raising
in the city.
Hell no.
That's too much.
I'm going to Ohio before I have kids.
Yeah.
Huh, man, it's just an easier way of life. And it's like, why not? I'll be honest with you, dude. I feel like New York, dude. I was out doing a show last night, and there was somebody here from, they came from some other, Venezuela. They just started comedy, and they were like, I seen the pictures of New York, and I remember it was so busy in all the videos when I look up New York. And I'm like, yeah, it's never going to be like that. We went to Bleecker Street Pizza. They got a good slice over there, the Nona. And I remember, dude, back in the day, I would go there to get that Nona, 2:30, 3 in the morning, and you would be waiting 30 minutes. I mean, there's about 100 people there. Now they closed off half the store. They don't even use it. There's nobody there.
Yeah, late nights are much different now than it used to be.
Dude, there's literally
it's just not open anymore.
100 people at the pizza place back in the day.
Yeah, well, nowadays, the only thing that's open late night is like halal cart bullshit or something.
And there's nobody there.
Yeah.
You know,
I think it's going to start. That kind of ended with the pandemic, but like I think it's starting to come back a little bit.
Maybe a little, but it's never going to be these internet jobs change the world.
Yeah.
You know, the fact people could work via Zoom. It used to be all these IT people and all these office people that would be at Bleecker Street Pizza, like, 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
And now it's, there's none of those people are there. They live in Austin, Texas, or they live in Ohio or Iowa.
Well, most of those businesses, I think, realize at this point that it's just not worth being dealing with shit that comes with being open 24 hours.
My buddy does work in these buildings in Midtown. He's like, bro, there's like hundreds of office spaces open.
Oh, yeah.
And all these buildings are empty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got to move to Ohio. I think we each have about 4 kids.
Yeah.
Right? 3-bedroom house, 2 kids in each room.
Yep. And then you do the car where you pass it down like it was your car, and then you got a new car that you wash every Sunday, and your oldest son gets that piece of shit that you had.
Yeah, and you just tell him, you got to drive this other kid around.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the deal.
And you got to raise them.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You have one kid,
well,
they raise the other ones.
You space them out enough, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you just got to have one kid, then you got to wait like 2 years.
Yep.
Then that other kid, now you're the man of the house. I got stuff to do.
I remember I had this babysitter, this girl, and then I found out she was only 6 months older than me.
Right.
But she was tall. Yeah. But I'm still like,
Well, you just got to make the old kid feel old.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you're the man now. You're 8 years old. It's time for you to learn how to drive.
You got to take care of them.
Yeah. I got stuff to do.
All these, I think that's what it's going back to. It's going full circle, dude. We're going to have the internet, the Zoom from the household, doing the calls, big families in these Midwest states.
Yeah.
The big city boys, they're going to be getting on the little steam train, going out of town,
Well, I think it's hard for me because like my parents were always around a lot. But so it's like it's hard to really imagine being like an absentee father. But you could totally do it.
Oh, yeah.
Guys do it.
That's the way to go.
Yeah.
What, your parents, like your dad had like a 9 to 5?
Yeah. Yeah. So he'd be home by like 6:30.
Get off work, building boats in a bottle or something.
Nah, he'd be watching tennis or something, and we all eat dinner as a family. It's a very normal family. But I think you could just be a guy who just like, he just works all the time. You see him on the weekends every once in a while.
Yeah.
This guy, he's putting food on the table, but besides that, I mean, he's sort of out in the mix.
Yeah, you give him your bologna and you say, nah.
Drinking with his boys, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
drinking with your boys, yeah.
But I mean, that kind of guy where it's like, well, he is putting food on the table.
That's a very much European mindset. That's like Scotland, Ireland. That's pretty much all of that area.
Yeah. Well, it's like the wife doesn't bother the guy, her husband, because it's like, well, he's doing his job.
Yeah, she's making bread. He's an alcoholic.
He's drinking at the pub.
The kids are out dressed like gang members riding the train.
Everybody looks like Colin Tyrell.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like
that's what I'm going to have. That's what my kids are all going to look like that. I'm going to just put my kids in like Adidas tracksuits.
Yeah.
Just let them run around. Tell the big ones to protect the little ones.
Yeah.
It's like, we're straight.
Yeah, take care of them.
Yeah.
The thing is doing comedy and stuff, I want to have kids. It's just going to be hard. I feel like I'd have to bring them with me via Zoom. I got to find a girl that don't got nothing going on in her life.
Yep.
That don't want to work. Hey, you're coming with me. We're in Tulsa this weekend.
Right. Well, I think like if you get a girl who just doesn't have a whole lot of ambition, it's like as long as you got some money you can, put in the bank. It's like she'll just take care of things back home.
Yeah.
Back in San Antonio.
But I'd have to bring her with me, dude. I'd bring my whole family with me every time.
That's not how guys do it, though, right?
I'd have to, dude.
Even Gaffigan.
Really?
He leaves his kids home, I think. Every once in a while they come with him. But
I'm sure after a while they don't want to go.
Yeah, they got stuff to do.
Come on, Dad. We want to watch TV.
Yeah, kids want to hang out at home.
We want to watch Tom Segura.
Yeah, right? We got stuff to watch at home. But no, I mean, do you think you'd be one of the fathers that would actually like be around all the time?
Yeah, I'd be like the Jack Johnson of comedy.
Yeah.
He don't even really tour because he loves his family so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd want to be around my family. I'd have to bring them. I try to space out my dates. See, the thing is, Gaffigan don't need to go out like that. He doesn't. I mean, how much money do you need to make? That's where the devil starts getting you.
Well, I think you just, it's show business. You can't, you got to strike while the iron's hot. So it's like
the iron's been hot for him for 30 years.
Yeah, but at a certain point, that's going to fade. So it's like you got to get all this stadium money while you can.
Yeah, dude, I'm not getting hooked like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to get this.
But even if things are going good, it's like you're still two weekends out of the month. You're out, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of traveling.
I'd have to bring my family once, or I would just do weekends. Like, I would be like, hey, I'm home Monday through Thursday. I'm flying out Thursday night, get to the gig Friday morning.
Right, yeah.
And then, I'm gigging that night, get to my hotel. And then I do 2 shows Friday and maybe 3 Saturday. That's 5 shows. Be done. Fly back home. Try to catch a Sunday morning flight.
Right, yeah.
get my kids homeschooled. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't really believe in school anymore. How long is that going to go on for?
Yeah, let these kids watch YouTube videos.
Well, I mean, aren't they going to learn faster from STEM on TikTok
Yeah.
than some teacher teaching them some outdated textbook?
Let them watch a couple Mr. Beast videos. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, they really would.
Just tell those kids, like, you just got to make 1/100th what this guy makes.
Yeah.
You'll be a millionaire.
Yeah, dude,
Start watching.
Would you send your kids to school?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm going to have smart kids. Yeah, I don't think I wouldn't, especially if you're actually busy. It's like, I wouldn't want to leave my kids to you. I'd want to set up, I got to have a family situation where I have a wife who has all day long and to dedicate to this, being a mother.
Well,
and like, we're keeping this kid off the internet. We're keeping him unplugged. It's going to be like an Amish household.
I mean, then you're gonna need an Amish wife, because if you get a regular
an Amish wife,
bro,
you get 2 Amish wives.
Yeah, you could do it. They
time
do it
together.
out there. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, you have to move to Utah and be a Mormon.
Hey, I'll do what I gotta do.
Dude, the thing is, it sounds good. You got your wife at home. She's got all day to be a mother.
Yeah,
a
she's
mom.
churning butter.
But that's not the case. She's gonna have all day to think. And then, dude, you don't want that. You don't want your woman thinking all day.
Yeah, I'll let her think.
It's going to be a
You
problem.
get 2
for
wives, and you get them, they split it up in shifts.
you. Yeah, one
Get this
could
kid,
argue with the
this
other.
kid's taking care of the cows. He's not online, I'll tell you that much.
How long does that last? I follow a guy on TikTok. I don't know. He's got money, I guess. He's got like a Corvette and a nice house. I don't really know what he does, but he's got 2 like 20-year-old girlfriends, and they're always like cooking for him and stuff, and just being 20 years old. And he's about 50. How long does that really last, though?
Honestly, I think in that situation, it's the guy who gets bored, not the women.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, the guy, I mean, once those women turn like 24, 25, he's like, all right, we got to start this over.
Yeah,
you guys got to go.
Yeah.
Those women, the women just sort of ride it out until eventually it falls off.
Yeah, get that free.
But that's not the kind of marriage I'm talking about.
You want an older
woman. I want a
woman.
solid Amish woman.
Yeah.
Who's just like,
don't wear makeup.
She doesn't wear makeup. She knows, her hobbies are all just like, sewing or something.
Making rugs.
Yeah. Churning butter and
blankets.
baking or something. Yeah. The real solid Utah woman.
All your clothes, all your kids wearing those big clothes.
I want like an African woman who's also Amish.
I think you can make it happen.
I can combine those 2 at the same time. That's a dream.
And if she doesn't have a cell phone?
Oh my God.
Dude,
she's like one of those women who's like afraid of phones.
Yeah.
It's like, that's that weird shit.
Yeah, the computer. I don't want the devil in this house.
Yeah. Stealing my soul.
Yeah.
That's what we're raising.
Yeah,
and
that's
just leave her to raise the kids on the weekend, and I'll stop by Monday through Wednesday. We'll watch football.
Yeah, that's where you get those creative kids.
Yeah.
Those
are the kids who are going to like really inherit the earth in 100 years.
Yeah.
Are the kids who aren't doing all this TikTok, Mr. Beast shit.
Dude, I was in Alaska. I seen some kids catching salmon. I don't even know how to take a fish off a hook.
Wow.
It's like, if this world comes to an end, I'm done. They had the fire right there. They caught the salmon. They did it all right there. They were like 9 and 12 years old.
Wow.
Cooking a salmon and eating. I watched it sitting there.
Kid who's nice with a knife.
Nice with a knife. Pulled it. They all got knives over there too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I knew a kid, and he had one of those creative moms where she just felt like, the imagination is power.
Yeah.
She was real artsy, believed in the universe, and she'd have us sit in the yard and look at the clouds and think. And she'd just be like, think. Because we'd be watching Sesame Street.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, don't believe this stuff. It'd be like teaching you how to count and ABC.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, no, you guys ain't watching that. And she'd be like, sit in the front yard and look up at those clouds and think.
Hell yeah.
And that's what we did. She said, will it in.
Yeah.
The universe will bring it.
Well, those are the kind of parents who actually like they're hands on.
Yeah.
They really got a plan for you.
They
They're not
go
just
to the
kind of leaving it
PTA.
up to. See, I get what you're saying about not sending your kids to school, because it's like you don't want somebody else messing up your kids.
Or learning about,
But it's like the kids, unless you have, somebody's got to have a plan for this kid. Because besides, unless you leave them, you might not want to leave them to the school to mess up, but you don't want to just leave them to the internet.
No, I definitely wouldn't want that. What I would try to do is get in with them. Like, see, like if I would want to be, I'd be a hands-on parent. Like,
hey, you got stuff to do, man.
Nah,
we're on the road. We
What's
got
more
podcasts
important?
to record.
I'd record it with my kid. He'd be here running around.
Nah.
I'd want to teach him languages. We'd learn it together about cars, boxing.
See, this is one of those parents who's got too many plans.
Yeah.
You got too much. You don't got enough follow through.
I think I would with my kids. And I teach them how to sew. I'd be like, dude, you're going to do this.
Right, yeah.
How to like put a window in.
Yeah.
All those things you're supposed to learn.
Are you doing this while being a touring comedian on the road?
That's the thing. I'd have to cut back.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I could budget and live good. I wouldn't want one of those wives that's materialistic.
Right.
You know, that's got to have a $1,200 dress.
Right. That's why you got to go Amish, man.
Maybe I should.
Yeah,
do you think an Amish girl,
women just carry stuff in their arms?
Would they take?
They don't even got bags out there.
Yeah.
It's all just carrying a bunch of butter and oats and shit in their arms.
I just went to Amish land back in Ohio, dude, and you would be eating good.
Yeah.
That cherry pie and the stuff they could do with apples.
Yeah.
You ever see that?
Well, it's like they got all day to just mush them up and
4 or 5 different things with apples.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. You got to get creative.
You can make junk food out of apples.
We see it even in the city. Even if you go to Bed-Stuy and all the Hasidic Jews and everything.
Oh yeah.
It's like that is a kind of an Amish lifestyle.
Close.
And you see how many kids they have.
Yeah.
And everybody there, it's like, it's all about the family.
And that's how they need to be.
Yeah, yeah.
But do you think those kids could build a house? They're playing with iPads and stuff.
Well, those kids don't have iPads.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, they don't got anything.
Wow.
Those kids are playing.
That's why they're in the street causing problems. I always wondered.
Well, no, they're all just hanging out. They're reading, I don't know, the Old Testament or something.
Nah, dude, you go to Brooklyn, dude, they're kicking people that look like us. I'm telling you, dude.
Yeah, that's why we don't go through their neighborhoods. They got their own thing going on within the city.
They'll fight you. They'll come up with a bike. All you see is sideburns and bicycle tires.
Nah, but I think those kids are like, I mean, because there's some kids in New York City whose parents are just like fuck ups, and they just let them run around, and they're like on top of subway. You don't see like Hasidic kids, riding subway cars and shit.
Yeah,
they're like, those kids are like disciplined. They got,
Dude, one time on the train, I seen a kid rolling a blunt for his mom.
Yeah, right.
I'm just like, what? She's like, listen, I don't want him learn. I see y'all looking.
Yeah.
I don't want him learning from some of these junkies off the street.
That is a Swisher Sweet.
Yeah, she's like, you see that? That's all natural.
Yeah.
I put some guava in that, not too much.
Yeah.
Kid's rolling blunts for his mom.
Wow.
I seen
Well,
it.
at least what's going in the blunt.
I didn't, you just got to roll. Like,
Well,
what is it?
see, that's just because you're like, you buy pre-rolls.
Right.
She's raising this kid right. We don't buy
roll
pre-rolls in this house.
Right.
We roll our own blunts.
You don't know what's in that.
Yeah. You empty the Philly blunt, throw all that shit out.
Technically,
Straight
she's
up weed.
right.
Yeah. It's pure Chiba.
If I rolled a blunt right now, it would look like a 2-year-old did it.
Yeah, you're going to teach your kids to buy pre-rolls. You're going to raise some lazy-ass kids.
Yeah.
Kids who are getting ripped off and spending $8 for a joint.
Yeah. Do your parents you ever have to go do anything? Like, I remember like we had corner stores and our friends, they would buy cigarettes for their mom. I remember feeling so adult walking with my friend to the corner store.
Wow.
And they would just go get cigarettes for their mom. We were like 10 years old.
Wow.
And then the kid wasn't even getting them for his mom. After a while, he was smoking them. And he was so cool. 8th grade.
Wow.
People would be like, oh, did you see Jesse smoked a cigarette?
Huh.
He'd smoke it before school. He'd take them slow drags.
Wow.
For some reason, when somebody hits a cigarette, whatever they're saying is a lot more interesting. You notice that?
Yeah. Well,
Like-
they can have they can gesture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're telling a story. They're just they got like a magic wand.
And they're thinking.
Yeah.
And you wait for it.
Yeah.
And really, the kid's dumb. He's smoking at 12.
Yeah, I feel like kids these days that's not even like a cool thing to do anymore.
No,
They
you're
all
right.
got vapes and shit. They don't even bother.
No, nowadays it's more about. I'd say nowadays what makes you cool kid now is being healthy, doing squats. My gym, all the boys, the girls,
those
they're all
kids
doing
are all on
squats.
like Adderall and shit too.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're pilled out on Adderall and they're doing too much.
TikTok. Are kids even playing sports anymore?
I think so.
I wonder if sports has taken a downfall because of all. Like, do you think sports was better back in the day, steroids aside? Because they're still on roids. Let's be honest.
Right.
The people, they've found ways around the test. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
And but I feel like sports to me, I'm not as into it. Like if you look up some old football, I feel like it was more entertaining. Deion Sanders days, Emmitt Smith.
It's more. I mean, like there were like bigger superstars back then, but
Yeah.
the game itself has evolved quite a bit. It's more like, and like the way TV looks is cooler. People have bigger TVs.
Oh yeah, it's like you're there.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't watched football since like Emmitt Smith did. You know when I quit watching football actually? When the Dallas Cowboys coach got arrested at the airport.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
You've been into football since back then? I mean, dude, that's a long time
Jerry
ago.
Jones, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just done. I used to like the Cowboys, and I remember.
You'd be proud. Deion Sanders is back.
Oh, really?
He's coaching. It's like a secret. It's almost like a movie where it's like his son is like the star now in college.
Get
football.
out.
Deion Sanders. It's like one of the biggest stories in college football. He's coaching at Colorado State, and now every week this is like the biggest college football game in the country is Deion Sanders coaching his son.
It makes sense.
And his son is like a stud.
I'm tuning in, bro.
Shedeur Sanders, yeah.
You know, the one thing I don't understand about football when you watch it, they have these announcers, these old guys explaining stuff. They never played football a day in their life. Why don't they have Deion? Like boxers, a lot of times you'll see like George Foreman will help coach a fighter or whatever. Sugar Ray Leonard, I think.
Yeah.
But these guys that are talking about the play in football, it's like it's two old white dudes. It's like
nah. I mean, they're ex-football players.
Oh, the people talking about it?
Yeah. Especially
really?
these days, they always got an ex-football player. Tony
Dude,
Romo
the game I was just watching with Aaron Rodgers, I felt like these people never played football. Like,
well, I mean, they played football in like the 70s or something. So they're not like, in shape guys. Here's the thing, though, with like whenever they have like a young quarterback or something that wants to do commentary.
Yeah.
Just because you're good at football doesn't mean you're good at talking. So that's a totally different job.
Makes sense.
So it's like, especially if you're a dumb guy who just got like 10 concussions in the last year.
Right.
It's like, we can't put you in front of a mic.
What would
expect
happen?
you to fill dead air for the next 4 hours.
But it'd be way more entertaining than whatever these people are saying.
It is, but it's like being a commentator. It's about being able to talk on the spot.
You'd have the FCC calling. Hold on, wait a second. You can't say that about white women.
What's funny though is I think this whole Deion Sanders thing, I bet, because right now he's like the head coach for Colorado State, which historically is not like a big school, but now Deion Sanders took over and he brought his son with him, and his son is like two sons, but like I bet there are more people now who want to have kids because they're watching Deion Sanders coach his son in college. And now that is like the ultimate dream of being a father-son duo like that.
Yeah.
Where you not only did you grow up being the best football player like of your era, football player who also played baseball, and then 20 years later you're coaching your son in college football, and your son is like an all-star quarterback.
I gotta tell you,
that's incredible.
You know how hard it had to be for motivating. The kid was probably rich, and Deion Sanders probably played football because he probably, I don't know, maybe he didn't have many other options. But this kid's rich, and he was like, "Yo, I'll go get a concussion."
And the kid's nice with it too. I mean, like natural talent.
I mean, he's got the genetics.
You're watching like Jamie Foxx level talent on the football field.
Also, that natural talent isn't always there. Like wasn't Michael Jordan's son tried playing or something?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is that like? But I think this is like. So many people these days don't want to have kids because it's so like you think of all the bad things. But I think if you just plant that in someone's head, that like just imagine you get to coach your son, someday you're gonna end up being a college football coach.
Yeah,
and just being able to have that kind of proud moment with your kids.
Which one's named Deion?
I mean, no, there's Shedeur Sanders, I think.
Oh, so they didn't take the father-son name?
I don't think so.
Deion Jr.
No, that would have been like George Foreman or something.
Yeah. Would you name your son Dan?
Nah,
Danny?
That's too much pressure. To have a great, you have a great father.
The problem
Imagine being named Jim Gaffigan.
Dude, I'll tell you what. If my kid had my name, his credit's going to be messed up when he's born.
Right. Yeah. For all Google purposes.
Yeah, that's true too. Cash App in the wrong person. Here's $10 for some weed. Son, what's this shit?
But can you even imagine having a kid and then having that kid be good at something? That's almost too much. It feels like it's like, it's almost getting greedy at this point.
Man, and actually even the opposite. Imagine having a kid and him not being good at something.
Most kids, though.
Yeah. I mean, but most kids at least fly in the middle lane.
Yeah.
See, that all goes down to the parents, though. A lot of that does, dude.
Right.
If you look at some kids that ain't doing shit, their parent was out on the road.
Yeah.
He was out drinking whiskey with the boys.
Right.
You got to teach your son how to throw a jab.
Yeah.
How to fix a car.
But it's like just having kids that like, because even if most kids aren't going to be good at football, even if you coach them in football and you're like they're training from a young age. Because some kids just, like we always say, you just don't got it.
Right.
I think you got to be able to spot when your kids just don't got it.
If they walk with their
them in a
feet
different
out,
way.
it's like, dude, you ain't. Come on.
You throw a football at them and they go like this.
Yeah, they
like,
flinch.
Yeah.
Or go cry.
That's why you got to have a wife who's like, on top of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, dude, I remember my neighbor, dude, found out he had a son. He used to always talk about how he wanted to find his son. And I guess this is before the internet. And, dude, one day, he was our neighbor. So one day this kid comes walking down the street, and this dude was a huge sports fan, our neighbor, like big time into football, everything. He was one of those guys that just had a random football around.
Right.
You know those guys, they just go play catch.
Yeah.
And they just walk around hitting their football. Like
they're throwing it in the air.
Yeah, he was one of those guys. 43, just throwing a football in the air and catching it.
Mm-hmm.
And had his grass cut real nice all the time.
Yeah.
One of those guys. And this kid comes walking down the street, real sissy looking kid. Dude comes over and he's like, hey. And he goes, oh, yeah, mommy told me you live down here.
Oh,
and dude, his soul was hurt.
Wow.
Dude, he threw a football at his son, dude. Started crying.
Wow.
Yep.
That's a shame.
Yeah. And then I guess he just ended up paying child support.
So it definitely was his kid?
Yeah, looked just like him too.
Oh, wow.
Just a real woman-raised version of him.
Still, you would think the kid genetically would be able to catch a ball.
Yeah, I guess you would think, but I don't know how good this guy was. I mean, his day job was like, I think he just worked at like some bullshit, like he worked as a manager in like an oil change place.
Oh, yeah.
But he used to always talk about playing ball. Like, I guess he played a little bit. He was a kicker somewhere. It's always the kicker. He was a kicker for like, he was a backup kicker in high school.
Oh, wow.
Or something.
Do you think, though, when you're going to have kids, do you think about what it is you're going to pass down to them? Just genetically?
Like, watch it. Oh, like, would I? Oh, yeah, they're going to walk with their feet out, probably.
Yeah. But you think the kid's going to be nice with his hands?
I think he's naturally going to be, probably inclined. I don't think he'd be nice. I don't know. Whatever I teach him. I can tell you a few things I think he would do. He's going to have a little bit of a weight problem, probably. Struggle with that a little bit.
Especially when he's drinking late at night.
Yeah, I think he'll get depressed sometimes.
Yeah.
He's going to be real nervous to talk to girls, most likely.
Yeah.
And probably not believe in himself too much.
He's going to be doing comedy a long time before it works out.
I already know you're going to hate what I say, but it's going to depend when he's born. Dan, I'm telling you, I know this sounds like crazy talk. I've been getting into it. Look up the time and day that you were born on your character traits, and they might be spot on. Bro.
Yeah, they might be.
Mine were spot on, dude.
What did it say?
It basically said how my kid's going to be. It was like, it said like...
Based on when you were born.
Yeah, my year, everything. Dude, everything was spot on with like... being stubborn, being like jealous, being like hardworking, thinking long plans. Maybe this is broad for everybody, but I don't know.
In your head, I mean, you're thinking back to the time and day you were born in Ohio. Think back to that. If you could go right now in a time machine and you went back to the hospital, how many other babies were born at the exact same time as you?
Yeah, a lot.
Hundreds.
Millions, yeah.
Are they all the same person?
That would be a good test to
No,
run.
they're not.
We got to call Mr. Beast.
That's fucking retarded. Of course,
call Mr. Beast.
Of course they're not. That's the point. Go right now to any hospital in New York. There are thousands of kids being born at the same time. They're not all stubborn and long-term thinking. This whole concept is extremely stupid.
You got to ruin my joy with your logic thinking.
If you take just a couple layers down, just think about it. This makes zero sense. And it's like, all right, I guess if it makes you feel better, that's fine with me. I have no moral objection to it, but just thinking about it, take it down a couple notches. These infirmaries there's a whole lot of babies in there at the same time that all have the same birthday, and it's like some of these kids are going to grow up to be Beyonce, and some of them are not.
Some won't be stubborn.
Yeah, exactly. There's going to be some real easy-going kids in there, and there's going to be some type A personalities. But
that would be a good science experiment.
What science experiment, though? That's not. Scientists wouldn't even waste their time on that. That's a thing you can do on paper and realize, no, actually, this is stupid.
Yeah, maybe. You know how many women right now are upset at what you're saying, Dan? They live their life by this.
Yeah, that's women who look at an entire book and decide on what their personality should be.
Well, they're Pisces.
Yeah, exactly. Classic Gemini behavior.
A girl right now is Googling your birthday.
That is so stupid.
Says right here, logical thinker.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're not even that. You want to take it another level of abstraction out. But our entire concept of months and days is all based on where the Earth is relative to the sun.
Yeah.
There are people who are being born on different planets, different galaxies that don't rotate our sun. So their entire system of months and days, and that doesn't line up.
Yeah.
The entire concept of stars lining up in the universe. Stars don't line up. There's nowhere it lines up relative to you. It doesn't line up relative to the star.
Interesting.
This is all, I mean, like, it sucks so much, especially being single, because you meet a girl on the first date. And it's like, I got to suss out pretty early, does this girl actually take astrology seriously?
And they do.
They do. A lot of them do, which is very tragic to me.
Bro, so many women
and it's
do,
like,
bro.
you got to decide at a certain point, I'm not even going to argue about this. But at a certain point, I mean, like, you got to say something. And it's like, I can't start off this relationship on a lie. Acting like I believe all this bullshit.
I was wondering why you were single. You'd get along with my girlfriend. She's a logical thinker like you too.
Well, I mean, the thing with like astrology is that I don't believe in it, and I feel like most women, it's almost all women too,
right?
But like most women who are even like claim to be into it, they don't genuinely believe it.
Yeah, most of the time it's an excuse for them to say if they like you or not.
Exactly. I mean, it's an excuse that people like to categorize other people.
I like to tell them something different.
I mean, especially if you tell them like that you were actually born in July, then they're going to start, oh, it makes sense. You must be a Capricorn and this and that and that. Then, you know, the next day you're like, oh, actually I was born in January. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, classic Aries or whatever.
I always tell them Pisces. Then they'll be like, oh, that's terrible. I don't get along with Pisces. Then I'll be like, psych. That's when I hit them with the, I'm Capricorn. Then she's like, oh, well, I know you're a liar.
Yeah, right. I don't know. It's hard too because like it's a kind of argument. It's not even like it's religion where there's different aspects of it. And it's like, all right, I'm not a religious person, but I can see why people are religious. I think it's very good for some people to have that kind of community. But it's like, there is nothing redeeming in astrology. There's no like moral aspect to it.
Now, what about the Chinese map? The tiger, the ox?
It's the same logic, except that way, at least the Chinese map makes more sense. The astrological calendar makes more sense in Chinese because it's an entire year. So everybody who's born in 1985 from January to December, those guys all have kind of the same vibe because people move in generations. But when you split it up by month,
wow,
it's like that makes no sense.
Have you ever taken an IQ test?
This is an IQ.
I just want to see you take one.
Yeah.
I want to put like a math problem on the board or just like a word.
Goodwill Hunting.
I feel like you would do it.
But this isn't even like Goodwill Hunting math. This is just like, have you taken 5 minutes to actually think this through to its conclusion? And it's like, no, this makes no sense.
I mean, it's in a book. It's got to be true.
And it's like, but the thing is with astrology is every once in a while you meet somebody who just genuinely believes in it.
Oh, they'll fight you.
And it's like, well, not only that, but it's like you're watching somebody whose entire belief you can tear down in 5 minutes.
Right.
With a pencil and some paper. And it's like, clearly your entire belief makes no sense. And it's like, those are the people who are going to stab you or something crazy is going to happen.
Listen, dude, I can't stand when you're out and there's like a big group of girls and then the guy comes over and he knows he did his homework, dude. He studied astrology. And even if he didn't, these girls didn't study it. So he's just lying and making the shit up and they're believing him. And then, you know, he starts talking to him about how he's a vegan, his jacket. He's like, this is a vegan jacket. Next thing you know, these girls hate you. You say one thing like, no, dude, that jacket's not vegan. Why are you being an asshole?
Any guy who's into astrology, he's lying to you.
Right.
You'll never, ever, ever meet I've never seen two guys talking about astrology when there's no women around.
Yeah, you're right.
Can you imagine that if you're just hanging around with a group of dudes?
I'd be like, dude, stop hitting on me.
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing? This guy's gonna try to steal my credit card. Or
I'm not hanging out with you, bro. I like women.
Well, not even that, but it's like, so why are you asking me my birthday? You're trying to steal my identity or something?
Yeah, dude. Or it's the equivalent to those people that learn shitty Spanish, like on Rosetta Stone, and then when they go to like a restaurant with a girl, and she speaks perfect English, and they just start speaking Spanish to her like for 20 minutes.
Right.
And the whole thing's como se dice,
right?
Onions, and then the girl's like, "What do you want? Onions?" Like nothing pisses off somebody that learned perfect English. You're gonna speak their native language shitty to them to impress this girl.
I hate it.
Does it work? Does a girl sitting there like, oh? He could afford 69. He could go on YouTube for 10 hours and
that's
learn.
like that's so annoying too. Is like there's this new TikTok trend you see a lot where it's like a black guy from America who goes to China.
Yeah,
and it's like, I speak fluent Chinese. I'm gonna blow everybody's mind.
And
he goes into a Chinese restaurant and like just surprises the waiter by just talking in fluent Chinese. And it's like, imagine a Chinese guy coming to America and just being proud of speaking English. Think about how many Chinese immigrants in this neighborhood speak English fine.
Yeah.
And imagine them just like, oh, I'm going to blow this guy's mind right now.
Dude,
I would like an ice water, please.
Yeah.
It's like making a TikTok video out of that.
And then
like
the person being blown away.
Right. This is embarrassing.